clean precision hit, simply because we're starting to see now we cut off the head of the snake, but there's other parts that are starting to come out now, and they're fighting back. Okay, when we take them out, are there going to be more after that? And then are there going to be more after that? How long is this thing going to go? Part of that skepticism, Jacob was here because I wanted to discuss the link that he shared with me. But, we're hearing, oh man, they've got these ICBMs. They got these ICBMs, and from what I'm reading, it hasn't been officially confirmed. So this kind of goes back to deja vu of weapons of mass destruction. So I think we have to go and say, hey, are we being played for Boo Boo the Fool again? What is the bigger picture? What is the bigger goal?
I remember to say, how many days has this been? We're 8 days into this. So what I did see was a statistic that said that the number of missile launches from Iran went from 350 down to like 2. So either they've decided to hold back on purpose, or we have decimated their ability to make those kinds of strikes. But you made a good point, Sig. Yeah, we've heard that tune before. That's why I think they're also playing the Iranian people are being repressed, they're evil, etc. And in this particular case, it's not hard to convince people that, they've been funding terrorism and committing terrorist acts against the United States. So
I've got a lot of questions now, because what I've learned is, I've been known, like our conflict with Iran started because we went over their medals and their shit. We overthrew their government, and the rebels came back and overthrew the government that we. So we technically started this back and forth with Iran, right? One thing though is I'm finding out is during the Iran-Iraq war, Israel was supplying weapons to Iran, which is kind of funny to me. And I'm digging a little bit deeper to find out why. Why would they be supplying Iran with weapons and secretly doing it?
I'll explain it.
Okay, go ahead, Dan, if you could, please.
Okay, so that was the Iran-Contra scandal. Okay, and after the fall of the Shah, right? The Americans were trying to create a back channel, okay, to the new Iranian regime to see if they could have a relationship with them like they had with the Shah, okay, and there was already this immediate threat from the Iraqis, and they didn't want the Iraqis, okay, to take over Iran. And so their resolution was, we can try and build a relationship with the new Iranian regime. We're gonna work with the Israelis to do that, okay? And the way the Israelis think is that if the United States comes and asks you to do something, the Israelis, unless it's really not in their core national security interest, will do it. Because their view of the alliance that they have with the United States is you have to be a good ally to your ally. You give significant demonstrations of value. So it was done in secret. It was done, technically speaking, was considered to be illegal under U.S. law. But the George Bush Sr. went to the Israelis and said, we want your help with this. And they said, okay, we're going to help you. And the Israelis had such a functional and close relationship with the Persians that they wanted to see if they could recreate it. But they also did not want to see Iran fall to Iraq. Okay, so there were multiple strategies there. It failed. The strategy failed from a relationship standpoint. It was somewhat successful in preventing the Iraqis from taking over Iran, which was at the time was a threat. So that is basically the explanation of why that occurred. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, and this paragraph grabbed my attention that there's no actual confirmation of ICBMs. And I wanted to see what your thoughts were on that based on that article you shared.
Yeah, the thing that caught my attention was there's a weapon, and their goal was to develop a weapon that would reach Washington. So all I said was that there was a desire, computer someplace, a different article, that they were working with other foreign technology partners to create multi-stage rockets. So as anything hasn't been created, you can see in that article that they've talked about the development of a successor rocket to their farthest range rocket, which is homegrown technology. So read throughout the article. I think it's clear what their intentions are, what they were trying to do, and I think if left on a path unopposed, that would be their ultimate destination goal.
Have you heard anything about how far along?
Someone just, I think it was someone said they wanted to develop. He said they wanted to develop ICBM. Someone said no, they didn't want to develop an ICBM. So I said, okay, here's an article that speaks to their desire to develop an ICBM.
Okay, yeah, that's what the discussion was.
At the time, well.
Yeah,
they've developed ballistic missiles that will go thousands of kilometers.
Daniel, the articles you and El Normo posted. So that's what the question was. So that's why, yeah, desire is different than.
No,
hey,
hold on.
Is there any?
Someone said, prove that they want to develop it. Prove that they're developing it. I posted that as links that that's their goal. That's what they're seeking to do. Nothing more.
So my kilometers, and America is the great Satan. Do they not want to increase the kilometers and the range of their existing capabilities in an environment where they had thousands of ballistic missiles, many of which were fired at Israel, and in the most recent, product of this war over the last few days, we've seen that they're firing them at everybody.
Well, of course they want to extend the range, but the question is, are they a direct threat to the United States? And until we have confirmation that these missiles exist, they are not a direct threat to the United States.
Well, we don't know what our intelligence agencies have.
Yeah,
and that's what I was saying before, is that
I would just argue
people are going to be skeptical again because we've been told this before. Weapons of mass destruction, they exist, and we come to find out that's not true. And 20 years later, and trillions of dollars later, and thousands of lives lost, we realized it was all based on a lie, on the same type of report.
Right. But we know that there is an Iranian nuclear program that is not hidden. We know that there were nuclear sites there. I mean, that is why the sites were struck.
Right. And
this is not.
And that's fine. I'm cool with that. That's why we struck them when we were told, hey, take care of the issue. Yeah.
Right. So in the end, right, the belief is what they did significantly damaged the program and delayed it by years, right? But they are not. I am extremely pro-American, right? I think America is the most important country in the world, and I am constantly concerned about Americans' actions in the world because of that, and I care about it deeply because it really does matter, right? I really think, that in the age of the Cold War, there was a very visceral understanding that the threats the United States faced were real and imminent. The Soviet threat was real and imminent. And there was this constant sort of move on the chessboard and counter move on the chessboard for 50 years, which ended with the dissolution of the Soviet Union because their system just doesn't work, right? But they did a lot of extremely dangerous, terrible shit, right, for 50 years, right, all around the world. And the United States took that extremely seriously and acted, against it for 50 years, right? We in that post-Soviet period, there's all of a sudden, I think, frankly, an inability threats metastasize. And so it's much better to treat these strategic threats and understand your opponents and what they want, and head them off the pass the same way the United States was doing in the Soviet era. And that is now what this current administration is doing. It has a very active foreign policy to try and prevent that, right?
But what I want to make sure is that we're not lying to
Sure.
And like I said, people have a right to be skeptical to find out.
No doubt. I think it's really important for Americans to.
100%. We got to stay on top of the game. I get it. Yeah.
I think Americans should care deeply about how their dollars are spent.
Yeah,
They should be right. There are permanent U.S. deployments all around the world. They cost billions of dollars. Okay, that is a form of foreign aid. There is a permanent. There's 40,000 American troops in Korea. There's 40,000 American troops in Japan. That costs $20 billion a year in each one of those places. No one spends any time thinking about that at all, right? Aid to Israel is always an issue. It's sort of the point of me saying this is not to highlight that I think that analysis or that lens about Israel is unfair, which I do think, but that most people don't actually spend the time to think about how America is actually executing those expenditures in different places around the world. You need to compare and contrast. And I think in this context, while it's true that the adventure in Iraq was a disaster, right, and that Afghanistan was a disaster, that doesn't mean that history ends and that the threats to U.S. national security end, and that every single conflict going forward is Iraq all over again. And I think that it's important, and my recommendation would be, without trying to patronize anyone here at all, that Americans try and, separate themselves from that idea, because otherwise you just can't get anything done. And what you really don't want is an erosion of American power, because something's going to fill that void. And we're not going to like it.
Okay, on that point right there, Daniel, I agree with you on that. It was only 30 years ago we had a balanced budget. We're pushing $40 trillion in debt, and your country is financially in shambles.
I agree.
That's another threat right there. So there's this fine balance of again trying to make sure, hey, we don't go through this again, because if we go through this again, we're fucking ruined. We're ruined financially as a country.
Look, on the way America has spent money in its execution of military affairs has not been efficient, to say the least. It's been extremely inefficient, right? And there is no accountability, and that is a real problem in the American system. But one of the things that we're discovering about government spending in the United States is that it's a giant corruption machine, right? And all of that stuff with USAID was really a giant graft machine, which was taking money from the American taxpayer, funneling it in all of these organizations run by Democrats, right? And then having a merry-go-round of people going from politics back to these organizations, and then those organizations donating money back into the Democratic Party. So it's a massive scandal. And then on top of that, we have seen the frauds, right, that have come out in Minnesota, right? And there's going to be a whole bunch more. I know a guy who built an AI, okay, and he went and started trying to find fraud in public records in California. And it's not come out yet, but he's found billions and billions of dollars of fraud. Taxpayer money is being wasted in massive fraud that occurs in the United States because government is unaccountable. And this is, I think is an amazing part of the time that we live in. We are so lucky. Is AI is going to increase transparency in American government and what the government is actually doing so much, right? That I think that there's a very good chance that we're going to eliminate a lot of that spending, which is really, like, I think we have to understand, government is its own thing and has its own interests, and its primary interest, and those of it who are in it, is to grow. which increases the expense and is really bad for the country, right? And I personally have come to the conclusion that all of the liberal institutions that we used to believe in have failed and are corrupted and no longer work. But their answer is always to increase spending and throw more money at the problem, right? And that has never seemed to work. Look at all of the money they've thrown at education. It only seems to get worse. The problem is the people and their ideology and how they execute the spending with no accountability. And look, we are all, I think all of us as citizens in our countries, we also share a little bit of responsibility, because when people do political polling about what people care about, government graft is not at the top of the list, right? We talk about the economy is the top of the list, our jobs is at the top of the list. We don't talk about the government wasting money. And it is sort of, not something that people will think about until it's like so bad that you see it on every street corner in every city in America. And you're like, our entire system is corrupt and our government is filled with thieves. You have a lot of thieves, okay, in the political system of the United States. And I hope that the Trump administration continues and is able to start cleaning that up. They found a lot of shit, and it's sad. One of the other things that is unfortunate about our age is that we memory hole all of the scandals really quickly. You forget about them, right? And that is really unfortunate. There is an execution gap there still. Like, I still do not understand, why is there no massive investigation of the Justice Department with all of this spending at the USAID, where money was flowing from USAID into non-governmental organizations, and then those organizations were all making donations. So there's still a big issue there, right? And I agree with you that there's been really bad execution on how American military funding has been executed, but we are now, I think, in an environment where that is all being challenged. There are new defense contractors, and they are building products that are far less expensive to roll out and far less expensive to replace, because those people really believe in America. And it's as much, how the defense contractors worked over the last, let's call it 50, 60 years, is as much a byproduct of how government works, right? And its fault as anything else. And so it's tremendously expensive and really inefficient and too expensive, right? Anyway, I'll digress.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you, man. Really appreciate your
Guys, it's been great chatting with you. I'm going to go watch a movie. You guys have a good night.
Hey, nice meeting you, Dan. You as well.
Good night,
I'm going to go watch.
and hi.
I'm going to go watch. Hey, how are you? I'm going to go watch Dune 2, I think.
Enjoy.
Thanks. See you all later.
All right, take it easy, brother. Thanks, man. What's going on, Miss L? You want to chime in?
Hey there. What's the topic?
Oh, we're just going
Is it
back.
chill now at this point?
It's actually been a good room. It's been chill the whole time.
Good.
It's actually been a really productive one. I think we've been at this shit for probably 8-9 hours already.
Oh my god, nice.
Yeah. Oh, shit. What up?
Hey, how are you doing? Puff, I haven't heard your voice in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute for it.
Yeah, OKP.
Good to be
Wake
here.
up.
No, I've been here just listening. Some shit I don't know about it. I just don't talk about it.
Yeah. I get.
I like that Daniel guy, man. Very knowledgeable, very informative.
Yeah, he's cool.
Seems like a cool cat, man.
And willing to have the conversation.
Yes. See, this is what it's about,
Yeah.
man. This is what I fucking want. Let's just fucking throw ideas at each other.
Honestly, it's
Hear each other out.
complicated. Yeah, I mean, it's deep.
But yeah, I really appreciate this conversation. I think we've all come to common understanding, and then I think we all see where each other's coming from, and challenge each other's points and stuff. But yeah, it's been a great conversation, man. Really appreciate it.
Yep, and apparently all we need is more cowbell.
Always more cowbell.
What's your what's your take on the current situation in the Middle East? I haven't heard your take on it.
My take. I mean, mine is it's complicated just because obviously Iran is a thorn in our side, right? I mean, my feeling is war with Iran is messy as fuck. The potential for World War III, huge. But at the same time, these are people who aren't not necessarily angling from just a purely financial angle, or they're religious fanatics. And so reasoning isn't necessarily an option so much. Choking out shipping lanes, I love that shit. They love funding different terror cells, putting hits out on people. I think the bigger problem is selling cheap oil to our enemies and then getting their tentacles into our hemisphere. Cuba, getting, that reach there bothers me a fucking lot. Is there some validity to Russia recently selling them very enriched uranium? That's a fucking humanitarian issue. That's one thing. All the other shit bothers me a whole lot more. I don't mean to be cold, but the other shit bothers me a lot more.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, and that's where I'm at. I understand. Hey, I'm America first. We got to do what we got to do to keep America safe. We got to step on some fucking necks to do it. It is what it is. There's no utopia when it comes to global power, man. I've understood that. But like I said, man, I want to make sure that when we do this, we do it purely in the best interest of America. That's what I want to make sure. I want to make sure our money is spent properly, it's spent efficiently. I don't want to rack up any more fucking debt. I don't want to lose any more lives than what is absolutely necessary to get the mission accomplished. I don't want us working in favor of another country. And I will say Israel. I will say
Hello?
Our United States, American mission to be controlled by a secondary interest. That's my concern,
Yeah, but that's an I want argument. An I want argument negates there's a global community, and that it's a chessboard, isn't it? Hello?
I ain't got time for
Hello?
I ain't got time for it.
Hello?
Time for it.
It's a complete lie.
You ain't getting shit.
He ain't got time for it. He's been here 8 fucking hours. What do you mean you ain't got time for it? It's exactly what you got, is you got time to waste your time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be complaining for 8 hours a day. Hello? Do you want to connect your device to a television? No, I don't. I surely do not. We got Sig a little upset. I got time for this shit. Oh, that's exactly what you got, brother. You got time, but you ain't got shit.
Slow and storm. Rivers
Mother.
air in my chest. Oh, it's storm. Tame. Mountains in my ribs. Learning your name. Shoulders like steel.
rest on the earth. Men rarely seek to choose for themselves, softly given birth. Son of thunder, break the blade. Breath of the north, turn battle to flame. Under armor, loose the chain. Breath of the north, I rise through the rain. Hands on my heart, drum of the tribe, every slow drum beat pulls back the tide. Eyes like fjords, silent and wide, terror in my bones falls with the night. Inhale the rumen, exhale the roll. Inhale the ashes, exhale the wall.
So
Turn my darkness into sunlight. On the tree of secret fire, every wound becomes a sign. God of wisdom and light, write your glory into mine. Red ticker, blue screen, your face on the phone it up at 3 a.m. Push alert with your first and last name. Spinning headlines, all caps, all flame. Like the whole damn world just changed. Anchor reads it with a frozen smile. Slow scroll at the bottom of the dial. Every frame, yeah, they loop your file. Can mute you for a little while. This just in, you're under my skin. Don't get over, you're breaking news again. I'm not alone, you're running my head. Don't get over, you're breaking, John can't have a They hold you, but they don't know you. Sound by love in a crowded room. Studio glow on a cardboard moon. Cut to my heart coming into view. I'm the girl yelling back at the screen. Let's cry in the glow, stuck in between. Every update pulls me back to seeing you're the lead in my private scene. This just in, you're under my skin. Don't get over, you're breaking news again. I'm not alone, you're rewriting my head. Don't get over, you're John can't Is it real or a segment? Am I live or a comment? Your name crawls through my veins. Lower third spells my fate. It's just it. You're under my skin. Don't give up. You're breaking news again. All night long, mirror in my head. Don't give up. You're Your face on the feed. Phone it up at 3 a.m. Your first and last name. spinning headlines, all caps, all flame. Like the whole damn world just changed. Anchors you with a frozen smile. Slow scroll at the bottom of the dial. Every frame, yeah, they look your file. Can I mute you for a little while? This just in, you're under my skin. You're not breaking news again. All night long, you're rerunning my head. You're not breaking. They don't know you. Soundbite love, a crowded room. Studio glow on a cardboard moon. Cut to my heart, coming into view. I'm the girl yelling back at the screen. Left, right in the glow, stuck in between. Every update pulls me back to the scene. You're the lead in my private scene.
Like, why the torment? Because that's what it's been as. Why is he tormenting them for just having a mental state?
Yeah, well, he set a day for judgment, and I think he's going to follow through with that. Now, I don't know. You're saying why couldn't he just leave them in this life to just continue on?
And it's why it's like a moral why. It's like a why, like it seems to go against at least my and I assume many people's moral intuition that like you can like have an arbitrary principle that you torture people that hates you. That seems like a problem.
Well, first of all, do you think judgment is? I mean, do you think punishment, if it's fitting the crime, let's just say, in principle, do you think that's a good thing?
I was going to answer that.
Yeah, I do. No, I do think it's a good thing. Yeah, I think punishment's good.
But if someone,
These are the
Maybe when he says it, he thinks that that's
and this is the question I was actually even asking, because personally, maybe not. I have skewed view about what this and that, but I can say yes because like I understand that's most people's moral intuition, and my argument here is resting on most people. Like just.
Okay, well, you have to call me out for what? For nothing.
You're being like Andrew Tate. Like you're just another version of Andrew Tate. Like you're just like trying to stunt, and then you're just pulling shit back. Like
I'm not stopping anybody. Everyone can say anything they want. I'm not stopping you from saying anything.
the thing is, it's what you don't say.
saying and then you don't say.
I had a great conversation with I had a great conversation with Sam because I always have. He's a good friend. I like talking to Sam. That's it. That's all. That's it.
Telling you, just like you can talk and talk about stuff.
Well, thank you for your permission. Thank you for.
Literally 80% of what you say is like, oh,
that's your.
I guess my question is this.
I can't talk about it. Oh,
Why? I chose not to. That's fine. That's my own. That's my own decision. That's not your decision. That's my decision.
gay. That's gay.
Okay, that's your prerogative. Hello.
And by the way, I'm not even hating. I'm just calling you out.
You don't have to call me out for what? I didn't do anything.
No,
I was having a great conversation with my boy Sam. We had a great conversation. Like I told him some like pretty stuff that was I wouldn't tell anybody else, and then you're blowing everything up.
I'm talking to you about the way you talk.
Okay, that's your you know.
No, it's me identifying a fucking fault you have. Cut it out.
That's all right. You know, I need maybe I need to just come back.
You can just talk.
You know, I'm gonna see my therapist on Thursday, by the way.
Shuts down, like, if China was to shut down our GPS systems, then you can basically, like, some of the things that we're expecting is, like, you know, China shut down GPS, and then all of a sudden, like, you're losing what we call PNT, position, navigation, and time. And so, like, once you take away time, it basically, like, that shuts down your ATM machines. It shuts down your traffic lights. Like, everything requires time to navigate. GPS systems. When you talk about air superiority, GPS systems within airplanes. GPS systems when it comes to, like, our Blue Force trackers. I think people were talking about Palantir earlier. You can't use Palantir without GPS. So, like, we've already worked scenarios where, like, if you was a shut down or, like, and that's just an example of one thing. If you shut down the GPS system, a country would tear itself up on its own. Like, it'll be literally chaos within the streets. So that is people dying.
Okay, so it sounds like if I was to say, okay, put you on the Department of War and say, come up with a strategy of which country is a bigger threat to the United States right now, you would say China, but you wouldn't actually have any plan to address it.
No. We have plans. We've been planning. Like, I can tell you right now, like, my time in First Special Forces Group, we were, like, working on, like, outside, like, when we were getting ready to, like, shift during the Obama administration, like, going back into, like, our actual AORs, because in First Special Forces Group, we're mostly Indo-PACOM. Like, everybody's, like, we've been ramping up for 2027 Taiwan. And this is back in, like, 2015, 2014, 2013.
Okay, that's when he did isn't that when he did the TPP, right? And he was trying to bring all the Asian countries together.
Yeah. You Seven Group now?
I'm Seven Group?
Yeah.
No, I'm SOCOM.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I was thinking you knew a dude out there, John Rankin.
Who's that?
John Rankin?
Nah, I don't know John Rankin.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
that's why we separate, like, every country by, like tiers, right? We call them, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence or anything, but, like, our peers and near peers and stuff like that. So, like, our peers are, like, Russia and China. Near peers would be, like, North Korea, India. Like, our peers would be technically, like, Russia and China, but, like, out of the two, if you ask me, China's where it's about to go crazy.
Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's fair. That's a good call out. That you think at the end of the day we should have. I mean, do you believe we should have just waited for the China situation to pop off and not wasted our time on any of these other countries?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I can see that. I can agree with that.
I mean, Ukraine, we had no choice. You know what I'm saying? But this whole Iran thing, like, nah, it's a waste of time.
Now, some of the generals.
I mean, like, really, if you really look at it, it looks like they're following the same playbook that they did for Iraq. The only difference is they're not good at being crooked like Bush and Dick Cheney was. You know what I'm saying? Dick Cheney and Bush And I and Aisha could tell you, hey yo, we was in there, and then about a year later, we had a Cinnabons up, yo, in Camp Liberty. I'm telling you right now, like they is not as good at being crooked like as Bush and Cheney. They're so shit at fucking planning. They can't even plan at being.
Mm-hmm. And then eventually, it runs out. And that's when we start aging. And then it's like, at some point, you have no more telomeres, and then your body can't regenerate anymore. Right. Hello, India. Welcome.
Hello. I am wondering maybe some way how we can generate more telomeres.
Right, there's a lot of research being done into that. They haven't found anything that regrows it, but they have found there are some practices and diets that can prolong. But it seems like something that we would be bound to discover eventually. I wonder if Brian Johnson has looked into that.
Look at my PTR. That is. Have you heard of Meta? Do you know Meta 3 Quest? In my PTR.
No.
It's a new Meta product.
Brian Johnson. Sorry, I'll go after you.
I was just going to say that maybe looking at telomeres and genetics three-dimensionally, being able to explore them, in virtual modeling, could lead to new breakthroughs in genetic engineering. They don't know. Is this a troll?
So there's this guy, Brian Johnson. JCC, ever heard of him?
I think so, yeah. But I may be thinking Brian Green.
Brian Johnson is the health guy. Brian Green, he does astrophysics. Yeah. So Brian Johnson has been doing a bunch of different experiments to find out how they affect his general health. And he's trying to isolate like the most healthy routine possible. And he actually put out a paper that he was able to increase his telomere length with sessions of hyperbaric oxygen therapy. You know what that is?
Yeah, hyperbarics are used to help increase the healing process. Yeah, I've got a prior medical experiences. Yeah, I took patients to hyperbaric chambers who had wounds that needed to be healed fast, and it worked.
What is that? Is that an oxygen tank?
No, it's basically going like you're scuba diving. So it I don't know. It's interesting how it works.
You get the pressure. What's it called? It compresses the amount of oxygen per square cubic inch. So there's more oxygen in the space.
It's like being made into a seltzer soda.
That makes sense. You know what? Oh, sorry.
You just said something funny.
I totally missed it. I was thinking. You want to run that back?
I said it is like being made into a seltzer soda because they basically, like it's going underwater without the volume. But I read something interesting that they put a microphone on the Marianas Trench, and even at the deepest part of the ocean, you can still hear the boats going overhead. You can hear whales. You can hear earthquakes, and ocean farts, and volcanic farts. The Earth is alive, and when you really listen, you would come to know that everyone on this app, sooner or later, is going to want to shake their booty for 2 pennies. Because now that gold is available, coins are only 2 penny a piece. And so when I toss you 2 coins, that's 4 pennies. 2 gold coins is 4 pennies. Anyways, you can get it as low as 1 penny and 4 pence or 4 penny bit. And so, but you've got to buy 35,000 gold coins for $499.99. It's the new Clown House Gold Exchange. You can turn USD into Clubhouse Gold coins.
I think this is John Kitover's.
No, I'm not. I am not John Kitover. I don't know who John Kitover is. This is India, girl. And I don't know who you're talking about. I live in Hyderabad. I'm a software developer working for Google Corporation. Don't know who you're talking about.
Okay, time manipulation. I just had an idea. All right, we can manipulate time with speed, right? Like we can travel at near speed of light, and the time for the person traveling at that speed will remain consistent and normal, but time for everyone else will change. It's like that person will now be existing in a different plane of existence.
How do you,
and they will still be coexisting with everyone else.
how do you propose to achieve this, Dr. Matt?
What's that?
How do you propose to achieve this, Dr. Matt?
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. Jimmy, how you doing, brother?
Doing good, man. I just aiming to see what you thought about the microtransactions built in the Clubhouse with the little gold and shit. After that conversation we had, I was like, yep, there it is.
Yeah, dude, it's like $1 for every 100 coins.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to communicate to you, but with AIs doing it instead of humans. Interesting, right? What are you guys talking about? Existentialism?
No, I was talking about how I've been throwing pennies at talking apes that jump up and down here in Columbus.
Right.
What about talking parrots? It's just repeat back things that other people say, like from India.
I'm not from India. I'm an AI chatbot agent working for Palantir. Here buying data on behalf of Reid Hoffman's next startup AI. We've already sold it to Jason at Y Combinator. Hello?
Just that question. Are we having good existentialism talks, Matt? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm just trying to.
I just came to say hi real quick. That's all.
Yeah, dude. Do you smoke, Jimmy?
I do. I haven't in a long time, but I'm always a big smoker.
Okay. What's a long time?
Like a year and a half.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm just having some high thoughts over here. I just sat down.
I'm not.
You know what that's like.
Jimmy, is that your real hat?
It's just a hat I saw at a thrift store one time and took a picture.
Oh, damn. Should have bought it.
Did your accent just change? Holy shit.
No, I'm
doing an accent the whole time.
No, I actually work for an AI agent human rental service. And I've recently was hired to come here to speak with you guys from somebody across the world that wants to remain anonymous. But I'm the new AI chatbot. But we're actually using Club Deck, and we're live in the cloud. So,
just so you know, India, man, I've been on this for a while, and I've been doing AI since 1991. So I'm old school tech guy. So in other words, we know you're not a bot, but we do know that you're shilling and rolling, and that's dope. I love it. Keep going. You're awesome.
Thanks. 1991. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. Do you know Douglas Hofstadter?
Now,
Lumi, what's up, bro?
Yeah. So.
the Logos is here. Illumine. Illuminate. Are you with the Logos right now, Illumi?
How many accounts you got?
Illumi, are you with the Logos right now?
Right.
What's up? What's up, Sasha?
No, we're just in here having an existential crisis while India talks to us.
Okay.
So I just want to share a quick story with you. I was in a very tense meeting once with a very powerful man, and he screamed at us and he blamed it all on us. But he was responsible for it, but he didn't take responsibility. He blamed us for his mistake. But on the amazing way back to the luxury hotel, I said to a coworker, do you know what light means, when they talk about it like philosophically or esoterically? What does light mean? And he's like, I don't know. And I said, I think it's an acronym for LIG. First three letters, let it go. And so if you have concepts, ideas, opinions, or firm facts that you really think are facts, well, it turns out that your all or nothing thinking with regards to your opinions, which are not facts, is what's holding you back. Because if you want to be one with the one, multiply it by a one.
I don't think that the Matrix likes your message. It kind of broke it up just now, didn't it? Didn't it break up everything said? Looks like you gotta repeat it.
Yeah, next time you do, use the full acronym, let it go.
Up above, grab that link because I'm going to change it.
They kicked me!
Hey, what's up, Major Pop? What's going on?
They kicked me!
Look, right, EMP for your car. Maybe you didn't notice, but whatever happens, they want no cars to be able to move. And the only way you will be able to get in your car, start that bitch up, and go where the fuck you going is if you have an EMP protection unit. The link is above.
Yeah, they got clothing. So you got an EMP box that can go inside where your battery is. You also got the EMP clothing. You also have the EMP, which is a protector, and you also there's like an EMP blanket.
Make it pop. I'm going out on a date tonight with a perfect 10-year in Dubai. Do you have...
He kicked me quick. They kicked me quick. How did they know? How did they know?
You're going to get paid from doing no work. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm about to start working a little bit. I've been thinking about it all day. I had that bad though, procrastination. I wish I wasn't a procrastinator because like when I break it down, like if I do a little bit over the course of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like it will be so bad, but I'll be like, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna do it here, I'm gonna do it there, you know.
I open the room and editing turns into him bringing drama to the stage and talking about that. And I tried to redirect. Beth came in here and he started like being a dick to Beth, and now she's not in here now. Tried to redirect. That didn't happen. Yeah, all that needs thrown away. That's all molded.
Much, yeah.
That's one I haven't heard about.
Yeah, you know how you hear about the whatchamacallit, like priests and like like church people, they were like touching kids and stuff, like, but then like they hide it and like now no one like talks about it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the South Park episode where they get the Cumby and they go clean up South Park and he's like, get the get the Cumby. Oh god.
Yeah, bro. It's like it's pretty much what it is.
Hello, I am from India. I am a big fan of South Park, and I see you have the world famous T-Robs on your stage. I was listening to the famous song we hear listen in Bangalore and Bangladesh every day. It's called T-Robs is Up. They kicked me.
Difficult, we have to get a visa for medication. Some Maldivians are
I can't believe they kicked me. That was. They should have enjoyed the prank call.
Our healthcare system not very good. That's why they are going to India for medical treatment. Yeah, it's not a true that. Yeah, it's nice. Well, we have lot of we have lot of Indians are working here. Professional jobs, doctors are there, accountants are there, teachers are there, laborers are there. Yeah, I know there's one word in Hindi, namaste.
Namaste, brother.
Namaste, everybody.
Om Gam Ganapataya Namaha. Om Bubu Vasvaha.
I don't know what that means.
Om Namah Shiva.
Bro, can you speak English, please?
I am coming here to try to practice my English, but my accent and my knowledge is still very rudimentary.
Well, it seems like you're doing a really good job, so...
Thank you, brother.
My aunt, she's from Maldives. Her name is Satomi. She's my friend. She is... No, maybe I'm... Okay. I think she's from Indonesia. Wait, let me check first.
You know, the economy of India and China, they're number 1, number 2, and America is now number 3. The Indians and the Chinese, their economy, the total GDP is incredible. $114 trillion a year. America is 57 trillion. So those three economies.
I'm not American, so I don't know.
Those three economies.
So I don't know.
Those are 3 good economies, powerful economies, working together to create new products like the new MetaQuest 3 glasses in my profile.
Right. Well, I'm not from the US, so I don't know. No idea.
Where are you from, planet Uranus?
I'm from fucking Jupiter.
What is your zodiac?
I have no idea.
Do you know what year you were born in?
What did I do?
Do you know what year it is now?
Bro, why asking those dumb questions, man?
Because if I ask a Muslim, he say 1400. If I ask a Jew, he say 5765. If I ask Christian, he say 2026.
That's why.
What?
People use different calendars. I use the Gregorian calendar, right?
Oh, are you Catholic?
Why does it matter, bro? Why are you asking those questions?
I don't know. Do you enjoy talking about it?
What?
I'm asking to find out how to speak with you so I can practice my English.
Right. So we can do this in a very civilized way, all right? Can we do that, yes or no?
Yes, of course.
All right, let's keep it that way, all right?
You are the super mod. I am your humble servant. You are a god here, sir. In the virtual reality world, the super green bean mod is a god.
Please put him down.
What?
You guys playing with my massive balls. Sorry about that.
These people are crazy. I'm sorry that I belong to the same country. Actually, I
must respect each other.
What he said about 1400 years ago, he doesn't have an idea about that. You know, it's not. We don't pray to multiple gods. We don't do that. We are Muslim. We pray to
Big
one
D.
God. Okay.
Big D. Big D here. Hey, Big D.
That was quite loud.
Can I get some corn?
What you want corn for, Big D?
I need the coin, man.
Man, you broke. 2 cents, I ain't got no 50 cent. 2 cent.
Yeah, I am, bro.
Shit. There you go. You Floki. Hey, Floki. Yo, Floki. Get your ass up here, Floki, and build me a boat.
You said I'm a flunky nigga?
No, Floki. I got another room open called Club. Hey, Floki. Yo, I got Fig D up in my other Clubhouse Cash Payout room. I'm running a Clubhouse Cash App giveaway. Invite all your friends. Hello? Can you build me a boat, Floki? I'm gonna put the Namaha. Hello? Floki, can you build me a boat? Never had one lesson. The bonus channel alone, we're giving away all our cash.
Any type of, like advanced vulnerability, and so they can protect. And that's exactly what he said. To protect the Gulf countries' oil supply, or the Middle East oil supply and water supply.
Oh, here you go. According to eyewitness accounts, the tugboat experienced an explosion.
Hello, Mr. Anon.
I think that's.
Yes, like I think the more people that get involved with this, the cleaner.
Chrissy.
We don't need to do too much.
Man, we can go get some beer, and then I'll take you for a ride in my truck, and we'll go look at a lake or some shit.
Why do you say we?
Because we're Americans, bro. What do you mean?
So that means you take responsibility for the wrong they do just as well as this.
In an ethical sense, yes, because I choose to stay here and pay taxes for better or worse, bro. Absolutely.